Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Musings by Nikki. I am back. I'm back. I have been gone for a little while, and I'll explain that in a different video or at a different time. But right now, I'm here for 5 on a Dime September. So 5 on a Dime is a challenge that Gina over at Firefly Studio 67 created a few months ago, and there are a couple of other wonderfully crafty ladies, Martina Tinkiela and Angela Kerr, who participate with us, and everybody gets a list of 5 items, and we create something from those 5 items. This month it was the 5 items, I've got my little list here. The 5 items were stencils, butterflies, which clearly, right, I nailed the butterfly thing. Stencil, butterfly, napkin, paper napkin, sari silk, nailed that too, right? And stitching, either hand, like slow stitching, hand stitching, or machine stitching. Have a little bit of both in here. So yeah. So like in my head, I was just going to make this envelope thing. Then I started crafting this morning, and I kind of woke up with this headache, and I wasn't really feeling well. And as the day went on, I just kept crafting, and then I was crafting and crafting, and my husband, my wonderful, lovely husband, is downstairs scrubbing our walls so we can get ready to paint, and the girls have been cleaning. So I've just been kind of hiding out way up here to protect my head, and meanwhile I just crafted and kept crafting and kept crafting and made an entire little mini journal thing. So let me walk you through it. I made the cover kind of was, so there's a sari silk closure. Oh, that's got a long, here, let's trim that off. You know, sari silk's constantly shredding. So I initially was just going to make this cover, and kind of used all of the elements on this except for sewing, and then I thought, oh, I'll include that some other way. So anyway, I made a sari silk closure, but then I was like, that was just felt like too predictable for me. So then I made sari silk all around everything. It's fluffy. Look at all the fluffy fluffiness. Fluffy, fluffy. Oh, fluffy. So the sari silk closure, right? But then, so this cover is actually 2 envelopes, right, that are just stuck inside of each other, which you can't really see at all anymore. There's the line. Can you kind of see that? Oops. There's the line right there of the, so that's this envelope's flap, and then this envelope's flap is stuck inside of this one on the inside underneath here. Anyway, so here's what I did. I took one of my favorite stencils, which of course I think I cleaned and put away somewhere, and laid it down. And so you can kind of see the lines in the background here, right? A little bit, but not a ton. So I stenciled on with a couple of different colors, and then I carried that same stencil throughout some of the pages in here. So let's see if I can, oh yeah. So like here, right? So I stenciled a little bit in here just to kind of carry the stencil. So I really used the stencil because I wanted to make sure that I used all the elements. Then, so after I stenciled, then what did I do next? Then I tore up a napkin. So I had a, like a cocktail size napkin that all these little background images come from. And then, so I used, you know, cocktail napkins, they have squares like this, right? So I used all 4 squares of the napkin. The first 2 squares I cut apart, and I Mod Podged onto the stenciled envelopes. Open like this, Mod Podged on. Then after that, I took a card and I scraped some gesso on. Then I did some more inking over the top of that with like 5 different colors of ink. Then I put some beeswax down. So there's a couple spots of beeswax on here. So if you see the cover, oh, so these have glossy accents on them, right? But then, like, if you look at the cover, see how there's a little bit of a sheen? That's from the beeswax. So there's like lots of layers. It feels really cool. You know, I'm all about my textures, and I love the texture of this cover. So that's what I did to the cover. And oh, there's the stenciling in there too. So these are this is like where the envelope is, right? So that's what I did to the cover. And then I thought, oh, I was just going to make it be like a little folio, but then I saw some papers that I had had offcuts of things and thought, you know what, I'm just going to keep going. So I used the other 2 napkins to make some tags. So I cut out and ripped out some pieces of that, and then I made some guest checks. Yep. It was a gorgeous napkin. Made some guest checks with it Mod Podged on there as well. So that's all over that. So, and then the sari silk became tabs all over, tabs on the pages, right? And butterflies, obviously. So I had some butterflies that I had fussy cut already, and that I had put glossy accents on, and it was for something else I was working on, and I'd made a ton of them, and so I still had like probably 10 left, and so I put them on. These on the front cover here, these are a little bit like raised up, you know. They're glued down pretty well, but then these are glued down really well. So anyway, I put them on there because I think they just, the shininess of them, right? Cool, huh? And then I picked a napkin that had some butterflies in it, so you could see that too. Then I stamped the word butterfly onto a piece of muslin and put that on the top. So nailed the butterfly thing. Oh, there's butterfly buttons down here because I figured out I had butterfly buttons. Wooden, there we go, aren't they cute? Wooden butterfly buttons. So let's just do like a flip through of this, I guess, huh? So that's kind of how I did my cover, was all that layering. So then, before I sewed this like one signature in, these are, so you can kind of see where the envelope was, right? This is the part of the envelope right there. They had those little things that came up here, and I cut those off, so it would just be more of a pocket. So it created 2 pockets. So I was, like I said, I was just going to have a folio with a tuck-in notebook, but then I just went to town. Tucked into the pocket there, so I reinforced the in-between here, the spine, I guess you could call it. I reinforced it with some layers of washi, and since I was sewing a signature in. And then these are just some offcuts of some of the papers that I used, right? So those are just tucked in here, and you could journal on those. And then I had a couple of these little Tim Holtz die cut pocket dealy bobbers from a different project. So I was really kind of just clearing my desk actually as well, and trying to use all the pieces. I had those, and so I inked them up a little bit and put those on the front and back covers. And then I had some of my butterfly rip strips. So I just did a little collaging, and these are some Tracy words, be amazed. And then this says just imagine, and that's a little collaging with another one of the shiny butterflies. And then this pocket just has some stuff that I had, again, laying around on my desk. Bits and bobs and pieces of things and stuff from all over the place. And then this is pretty simple in here. Like I said, I just followed the stenciling so that it kind of like matched up. And those are just scraps of stuff. Oh, I did some butterfly stamping too, because I have butterfly stamps. And then these are the tags that I made. They're just old white old tags that I had laying on my desk at the moment, so I Mod Podged some pieces of the napkin, some different pieces that were ripped off after I did the guest tickets. And then I just started sewing on Sari Silk. Oh, you guys, my mom and dad, one of our very dear family friends, is going through her attic, and she's, I don't want to say a hoarder, but she does have just a whole lot of stuff. And she's 90. So she's got tons and tons of books. And my mom and dad have been kind of watching out for me and have gotten me, I'll show you, I'll share it with you in another video, but they have gotten me some of the coolest old music and old magazines from the turn of the last century. Oh, so anyway, I stuck a piece of that in here because that was sitting out on my desk. So that's the Gondolier Waltz. Some more butterfly stamping. Then this is a pocket, and I just stuck, these were some things that I had around. This is an embossed, and I machine stitched around the edge. It's like a postcard stamp. That is from forever ago, from a project like way back when I started. So put that in. Here's one of the guest checks that I made, and I actually sewed it in, so machine sewed. And then this is some slow stitching here that I did with some thick like embroidery floss, and then I put a little wooden flower button in the middle. Isn't that napkin beautiful though? I wish I had more of them. I just had the one. But I put it on this guest check and turned it into a pocket, and then had another journal card from forever ago, and I stuck that in there. It says lovely. Then some more stamping, some more of that awesome music paper, another butterfly stamp. Oh, this is middle of the signatures where, oh, all twisted around each other are these two. They're just buttons and some beads that I threw on there. Then this cute little heart clip, I had that and a diamond clip laying, oh, look at, I clipped 2 pages together. I had that and a heart and a diamond clip, so they both made it in because they were on my desk. Okay, so they're really cute because it makes a little heart on the other side too. And then this little ballerina tag girl, she is from, oh, more machine stitching. This is from my stash too, in my tags, and I liked it because it had butterflies. Those are also napkins, and this adorable little girl on there, right? There you go. Then here's some more of that lovely sheet music and some butterfly stamping, more of the stenciling. Here is the other guest check that I made. That one is just literally for some, it's like a journal card. And there we go with that beautiful napkin. And here is the other half of that paper bag, and it has another one of my Mod Podge napkins from my stash. It has a butterfly on it and some machine stitching, so I said, yep, it counts, it can go in the journal. And these two lovely ladies can just hang out. So they're in this pocket, and I stenciled over the bag before I put it in. The other half of the bag makes this this little tuck spot right here. So I sewed that around that when I sewed it in, and then did a little more stenciling there. Some more butterfly stamps. I found this paper that has slow stitching on it, printed on it, but I know that doesn't count. And then more of the music paper. Here's another one of the little tags that I made with Mod Podge and the napkin. Another stamp. Some more stamping. This was, oh, there's the diamond clip. And then this was another tag that I had in my stash. It is, can you see there? It's an embossed bird stamp with a flower, and then some machine stitching up the side. Oh, and more stenciling, and then that's it. That's the back. There's 2 more like big offcut pieces that are back here that you could just journal on. And then there's another little pocket full of stuff and junk, and another butterfly from the rip strips, and it says always be true to yourself. So there we go. And then the back cover. Oh, you guys want to know what I did? I forgot to tell you this when I was showing you the cover. Maybe you saw it. I don't know. Let me show you again. Let me open it up. What I did, could you see how that's upside down? Yeah. Turn it like this. See how they're the right side up now? Yeah, I did that. Gonna own it. I did that. I put the napkin on. I was all stenciling and everything like that, doing my thing, loving it. Then I flipped it over and started working on the inside and glued these guys on, but then it was upside down. So I have just tried to cover some of that up with some of the butterflies, and I figure, you want to know what? It's not that big a deal, because actually some of the stuff is right side up, the stamps and whatever, because the napkin, it all kind of went wonky anyway. So you can't really notice it unless I tell you, and then you probably notice it. But anyway, so that is my September 5 on a dime challenge project. I would have done some crafting along, and that was my full intention, but then I just got carried away with myself and ended up with this whole mini journal, because that's how I do sometimes. And when you're trying to stave off a headache and stay away from the busyness downstairs, that's what you do. You just, you know, take it too far, and, well, too far, guys. Is there such thing? You just take it this far. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Please, if you enjoyed this, or even if you didn't enjoy it, go and check out the other ladies, because they are fantastically, fabulously wonderful crafters, talented ladies that I am sure have come up with an amazing take on the 5 on a dime challenge for September as well. So that's it for now. Hopefully I will be back in the next few days with another journal. I am almost done with my Storybook Woods books. I have been slowly crafting away on those for a while, and again, I will explain everything to you in a little bit in my next video. But for now, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, middle of the night, wherever you are on this planet, whatever time it is where you are. I hope you enjoy your day, and I will see you again very soon. Take care, guys. God bless.